UPSC is a marathon. I would say that it was a sprint to me. On the day of prelims, my room was filled with water. It is all about those 2 hours. Sir, I bought a mug from the bathroom and threw the water outside. You may be scoring 130, 120 in the mocks and you might not be able to perform in the prelims. I was so very scared that I am not referring to Spectrum, that I am not feeling that Lakshmikant was not very interesting for me. For geography also, I was stuck with NCERTs. My preparation mode cannot be recommended to all because it is all about the mindset on that day. Thereafter, sir, I tried to calm myself and I was able to. Within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I smiled and I was saying everything is going to be fine.
Hi all. This is yet another UPSC results season, and in today's Toppers Talk series, today we have with us Prateek Mudgal, who had secured AAR 54 in UPSC CSE 2025. Hi Prateek.
Hello, sir.
Prateek, first of all, on behalf of Team Enlite, I would like to congratulate on your success.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Prateek, all the toppers, they have a plan and they are successfully able to implement the plan. You, based on your interaction with us, we know you were able to implement that plan. In today's short video, what we are trying to do is we are trying to understand from you how your plan succeeded or why your plan succeeded. Before understanding about the plan, all the toppers, aspirants or the viewers would like to know something about them, from where they are, how they came into this journey. So can you just simply elaborate about yourself?
My name is Prateek Mudgal, as I mentioned, and it is said that UPSC is a marathon. I would say that it was a sprint to me 2-3 months back, but now when I see it, it seems that I was walking on its path for a long time now. Though the sprint was of a very short period in which I came in contact with Enlite, I feel that it was almost destined that I will be giving this exam now. I wanted to become a lawyer, a Supreme Court advocate, and given the fact that my father is also a lawyer, and reading lots of novels about Nani Palkhiwala, Falias Narimans, and recently I was reading Chagla, I wanted to be at that place also. But at the same time, I felt that not just going into the adversarial side of the issues, if I can do something on the ground before the issues arise itself, then I can be of some help, of a little help, at least a rock among the mountains. And that's why, sir, I decided that I should prepare for CSE examination after completing my graduation in 2024. It was almost in final semester that I was having that mindset, okay, I will give the exam.
Okay, so becoming a civil servant, that was a gradual transition in your idea.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you started to plan with your preparation journey.
Yes.
Okay. So Prateek, as we all know, this is a 3-stage program. We have the prelims, the mains and the interview. The prelim stage is actually an elimination round where UPSC is trying to eliminate the non-serious candidates. So in prelims, we have 2 areas. One, the GS part, which gets overlapped with the mains also. Then the exclusive part, which is the CSAT. So we want to know how you started with your GS preparation. I'm asking this because I know Prateek's preparation is not what all the aspirants usually do. It's a little offbeat, even though we do not recommend it to all. But there are many aspirants who follow Prateek's footpath, the same idea they follow. So that's why we want viewers to understand how Prateek prepared, what were the challenges you faced in your preparation. If you can elaborate, it would definitely help a lot of aspirants.
Sir, it was in law college that I started reading newspapers. For my personal sake, I loved reading newspapers, I loved reading novels. But in the final semester itself, I thought that I should start with GS. So I was reading books in GS and all. And sir, after that, in April, I gave the CDS examination. I cleared it. So I was having a certain base in GS by then. A little base. Because in CDS, there are 2 exams. There is one English paper and there is one GS paper. I know that I would have scored a little lower in the GS1, and in English it was a great score. So that sailed me through to the CDS. Sir, my graduation completed in June. My exams were over, and within 4 or 5 days I came to Delhi. And the reason being that I came to Delhi was I am having a lot of friends in Aligarh, and I used to meet to them a lot. At the same time, I wanted to get a secluded space for myself, given the fact that I did not want even my parents to know that I want to prepare for the examination, because it adds a certain amount of pressure to you and a certain amount of expectation to you. At the same time, I would like to add here, since I have mentioned the expectation, just because I'm sitting with you does not mean that the luck was not on my side, and it was all hard work. There are many people who are doing much harder work, but they are not having that guidance, or at times the fate is not on their side. So, sir, after coming to Delhi, I gave the CAPF exam also. And, sir, I was able to clear it, the written part. And now, sir, in October, I'm talking about 2024. In October, I was having my SSB. So my father knew that I have cleared the CDS written exam. So he told me that you can prepare for SSB. So sir, my entire September I devoted to the SSB, which is one of the hardest interviews. So I went there, and in October I got recommended from SSB Allahabad. Thereafter, I was declared medically unfit, which is a usual scenario in the first stage in the AMB, in the General Medical Board. And sir, till December, I got no call. So in November, I was preparing for the exam, mainly for prelims, because I found it really difficult. I felt that prelims is a harder stage in this entire journey, because the odds are against you, and the prominence of luck plays a very major role in prelims especially. So sir, thereafter I got a call, and I had to go to the medical board in Delhi base for almost 10 to 15 days. And as far as I remember, that a lot of time was wasted there. But I used to come at home at night and try to study. I felt in the examination journey that I was not a robot. So I was worried that whether I will be able to clear medical or not. On 22nd December, I was having the physical of my CAPF. On 15th December, my medical got over. And on 22nd December, I had the physical of my CAPF. I had 7 days. So I prepared for the physical of CAPF. By God's grace, I was able to clear the physical as well. Now, sir, comes almost end of December, and January is starting. In the meantime, I was focusing that I should at least read the newspaper and do the basics which are necessary in the preparation. In January, sir, I devoted my wholeheartedly to prelims.
So you were mentioning that newspaper reading is needed.
Very much
It's
necessary.
very much necessary.
Very much necessary. Huh.
Can you elaborate on? I'm asking this because when I sit with my students, the number one question they ask is, should we refer to various magazines that are readily available in market, or should we read newspapers? I know that you have done both. You have referred standard magazines, plus you have read newspapers. So can you bring out why newspaper reading is essential?
Sir, when you read a newspaper, I personally read all those articles, all those editorials, which may not be related to UPSC but interests me. I would read all those news which were not related to UPSC but interest me. So, sir, in the entire day, when you are studying something which is, I want to highlight this, that the UPSC preparation is not very interesting for someone who is coming from the law background, because you know most things. You have a base in things, so you are not learning very new things. So, sir, newspaper was a time when I used to feel that, okay, now I can relax. So, and I used to read almost 1 hour. Sometimes in 1 hour, I used to complete the newspaper. And sometimes in 1.5 hours, I used to complete the newspaper. And sometimes if I'm feeling that I don't want to study, so I used to, and I have to feel satisfied at the night that I have studied. So I will read the newspaper for 2 hours.
Then what input did you take from newspaper?
Sir, if you see the questions of prelims, then at times there are questions in which you know the narrative, then you can answer the question. The factual questions are one thing. And even the factual questions, if you can understand the concept behind the question, why it is being asked, then there are chances that the things that has been happening recently for example, a country's name or a place in news name, then even if you are not sure that something has happened in that place, and you have read the newspaper and you were going through the name several times, then you can get that intuitive feeling, okay, this can be the answer. And sir, you to know that in prelims, intuition has to work.
Intuition has to work.
Because you cannot know all the answers.
All the answers.
Same thing happened with me in the history also, sir. I am a type of a novel reader in the history itself. As people read a lot of spectrum, I focused on Bandyopadhyay because I love the writing style of that book. Satish Bandyopadhyay, it is a very scholarly work. So, sir, even in that book, I may not recall the facts, but the narrative help you eliminate the options. The narrative help you feel that this can be the answer because the timeline is not suggesting that this can be the answer. So, sir, same thing happens with newspaper.
Got it.
The narrative we get helps a lot. If there is a factual question, then it was almost helped by the magazines that I could refer. But sir, in magazines also, I completely left the schemes part because I found it boring.
Okay, okay. Means basically what Prateek is trying to convey is newspapers helps in improving your knowledge base.
Yes, sir.
So you get the in the hindsight, you understand that this can't be true, this can be true.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is what actually newspaper helps. I also try to convey to many students. I mean, we actually conduct a lot of tests. So through test, we are able to convey the various current affairs, static part that is asked. But if you need to understand, if you need to crack a particular question, means only you get nearly 20 to 25 questions directly in UPSC. Rest you need at least another 30 to 35 questions to ensure that you crack the exam.
Yes, sir.
For that, you need to have that gut instinct to take the question. That happens through you widening your knowledge base, and this is what newspaper helps you in your preparations journey. Okay, Prateek, after newspapers, another important thing is, did you take any tests or were you into PYQs? Because your time was too short. Based on the conversation, we can understand till December you were into CAPF and CDS preparation. You had just 5 months to consolidate your preparation, and in this you might have all you need to see all the GS papers plus take the test plus CSAT. So what you more focused, taking test or understanding the PYQs?
Sir, now sir, continuing with the journey, sir, on 8th January, my CDS result was declared and I got All India rank 19.
Okay.
So there were a slew of calls. I got a lot of calls. And sir, I was disturbed because I was getting a lot of calls and I didn't want to convey that I was in the preparation mode. So I was a little worried that now people know that
You are in preparation mode.
I'm in a preparation mode. So, sir, after 2-3 days of that disturbance, I kept my mobile phone away and I started preparing very sincerely now. Because when you clear something, then first time it might appear as luck, but you have to show that you have something. So at the same time, sir, I started reading the various books that are available, and I prepared for GS specifically. And now, sir, I was over with January, and in February, I realized one thing, that what if I clear prelims? I have not done anything about mains. The only thing that I have done was I have read philosophy notes that are consolidated by Mahesh sir. So I have read them once or twice, and before that, sir, I had read a lot of philosophical novels also. Properly, they're kind of academic. W.T. Stace, Bertrand Russell, and I was not into existentialism. That
Actually, you have that reading habit, elaborate reading habit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So because in final year, 5th year, I am a law student, but I was reading Feynman's 6 Easy Pieces, which is a physics book.
Okay.
So, sir, I love to explore the subjects, and philosophy was a kind of love to me also. So then, sir, in February, I realized one thing, that prelims is okay. Focus on your mains also. So, sir, I did one thing, that I started rereading the notes, so that at least twice I would have read the Mahesh sir's notes. Sir, the notes are very good for the exams. One thing that I would like to convey, because there are too concise. But since I have read the novels and I had that understanding that what the particular philosopher is trying to convey, sir, I was able to decipher most of it, but a lot of it was not. I was not able to decipher. So I had to spend a lot of time in. So if you will see my notes of philosophy, they are actually the notes of Enlite, but in between pages, I have written a lot of paragraphs. There are 3 lines, and I have written an entire paragraph about it. That what he is trying to say, and it is often suggested that you should read Why Masi. Sir, I found it a dry book comparatively because I was into Hirianna and W.T. Stace, and they were absolutely wonderful authors. And so, sir, rather on rather going with Masi and all, which are the standard books, I kept on with the notes because I had very little time to prepare for philosophy. And so the reason I took philosophy was, firstly, I had deep interest and deep love for the subject. Sir, I knew that I would be able to at least do something in the mains if I take this exam, if I take this optional. At the same time, sir, I would like to defend my law here because this is one subject that I absolutely cherish. For instance, sir, there are dissenting judgments of Justice B.V. Nagaratna, which I absolutely love. And sir, there are judgments of different judges, and I'll read them. Even in my preparation, even before prelims, 1 month, 2 months back, if there is a good judgment, then I would I would not read the entire judgment because it used to get bulky, but I would go to the site and read the judgment because they are wonderfully written, and because at the same time, when you are in a preparation, in a way it will add somewhere, and even if it does not add, then it's okay because I loved it. So I was keeping such stuff with me throughout.
Love for wisdom. That's why you used to love, I feel.
Yes, a kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. So then, by what time did you stop your philosophy preparation? Because it's February right now,
Yes, sir.
and in May we have the main prelims.
Yes, sir.
So time is short.
Sir, in February, I was limiting my philosophy to 2-3 hours a day, and I was giving the rest of the time to prelims, and to GS specifically. If I had times, I would have given a lot of time to CSET also, but I gave one mock and I scored. It was a very hard mock, and I scored around 110 in that. So I had to gamble here. That since I have a background in mathematics also, so I felt that let's focus on GS first. So, sir, then I started thoroughly for prelims.
Okay. Earlier, Pratik, we asked you a question whether PYQs you solve for GS and how they are important.
So, firstly, there is a FOMO in this preparation. Though I got all India rank 54, but believe me, I was so very scared that I'm not referring to Spectrum, that I am not feeling that Lakshmikant was not very interesting for me. So I answer for geography also. I was, sir, stuck with NCERTs. Sir, it was a blessing also because I had very limited sources, and I had limited sources only because I had limited time. Had I had more time, then I feel that I would have gone to other books because I had bought GC Leong also. And sir, but I stuck with NCERTs of geography specifically.
Uh, I'm smiling because I actually I'm happy with what he is saying. Civil service journey all need to focus that the FOMO factor is too much right now because your neighbor did something. There is no need that you need to do that. It's all about individualized preparation, and Prateek's journey was actually a individualized preparation, and that actually helped in securing the rank, right? Na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it's the time for prelims exam. Okay. So how happy were you in the morning of prelims? Because I'm asking you because you're a kind of cool guy. So let the audience know. Means since your preparation was offbeat, so the morning of exam also, whether you were cool, whether you were tensed, if at all tensed, how you were able to manage it.
Sir, on the day of prelims, it was raining. And sir, I have a few friends who suggested me, those who are not in the UPSC preparation. I had more friends, those who are not in the UPSC preparation. So they suggested me that I should stop reading at least 2-3 days to calm my mind.
Right.
But for someone who has not been, who has just started doing the things in a systematic way, sir, I would not say that UPSC can be cleared in 5 months or 6 months. It is a lie. It is what you have built in years
Yes.
coming in different ways and helping you. It is only this. I could have not done history if I have not had interest in history.
History.
I would have not been able to deal with polity had I not been from law.
Law graduate.
And sir, and even science, sir, even only the biotechnology part was something that was new to me. Otherwise, almost everything in this preparation I was in a way or other aware of. Economics was also new to me and it was challenging. Sir, on the day of prelims, till the day before prelims, I was studying till 10, and because I had to learn all the authors of different in ancient history. We have authors, what they have written, and all these. And sir, I had not had much time to consolidate the things that you have to ratify. So I was really afraid that how would I will be doing
Managing
it.
that.
And sir, on the night of the day before prelims, after midnight, sir, it started raining really badly in Delhi. I woke up at around 2:30 because the thunders were so loud.
So loud.
In the morning when I woke up, my room was filled with water on the day of prelims.
Oh my God.
Because sir, the room in I was staying on the terrace. Sir, I used to throw. I have kept a few things over there, so the drain was blocked. And since the prelims was on 26th May, monsoon has not started. So I had not, and sir, I was so engrossed in my preparation that I was not able to even see that what things in my room are there, here, there. And I did not keep a maid. I did not keep a helper because, sir, I didn't want to bind myself with anything.
Anything. Okay, got it.
Sir, but it backfired. On the day of prelims, my room was filled with water. When I stood up and when I saw the water, I was a little frustrated because I wanted to be really calm in the prelims, because those who have given prelims know that it is all about those 2 hours. You may be scoring 130, 120 in the mocks, and you might not be able to perform in the prelims because it is all about the mindset on that day. Sir, and given the fact that I was worried about that there can be a short circuit because my extension cord was lying and there was a refrigerator in the room. So, sir, I bought a mug from the bathroom and threw the water outside. Thereafter, sir, I tried to calm myself and I was able to. Within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I smiled and I was saying everything is going to be fine.
So it was a tense morning.
Yes, sir, it was a tense morning.
But you were able to manage that.
Yes, sir, because life is all about managing these things.
Yeah, this is what leaders actually do. They manage the tense situation and you actually were able to do that. Now coming to your mains. The prelims result came. Actually, you might be frustrated. Since your prelims preparation, the GS part, the time was too short. You were just focusing on your philosophy part. So you already had a plan with respect to philosophy. So you went ahead with that. But about your GS, how it started?
Sir, after prelims, for the next 10 days, result was not coming out.
Okay.
I have a habit that I do not refer to the answer keys. UPSC does not release its official answer key, and I do not refer to the answer keys because at times it is a wrong hope. It is a false hope at times. So, sir, for the next 10 days, I was not studying. I was worried and I did not travel anywhere, and I was not able to study. So the result came out and I was really confused that now how I have to move ahead. Since, sir, I did not have any particular association with any coaching before prelims. Though there were test series and all that I joined, but test series do not give you the human touch, which I feel now that is very much necessary for at least a person like me. Since you said that my preparation mode cannot be recommended to all, but for me, human touch works. I need human touch in my preparation. Had I known that human touch is possible before prelims, I would have gone for it. But after mains, my result came out, and on 13th or 14th of June it was that I called Mahesh sir for philosophy. even though I knew that I have understood the subject a lot, sir, I was writing very freely. And sir, one more thing, sir, I had not written any test
before that.
before the prelims. Because sir, I was consolidating the material that I have to write.
Right.
And sir, I too used to watch the Topper Talks, and they used to say that you have to write an answer daily. But sir, it requires a lot of discipline. And very humanly, I would say that I was not able to incorporate a lot of things. And that used to frustrate me a lot. Because at the end of the day, you have to be satisfied with yourself. And I was not. So, sir, after mains, sir, I called Mahesh sir and I asked him that, sir, these are the things. And I have not touched GS a lot. I have done it for prelims thoroughly, though. By then, uh, except a few things, I would have done almost for prelims. I was prepared that I will give the exam. But sir, post mains, when the result came, I called Mahesh sir and then I told him, sir, this is my level of preparation. And I was, sir, actually a little uh, I was little perplexed that will the online mode work because Enlite is an institute in Kerala.
Distance is too much.
Distance is too much, and I wanted someone who could give me that human touch. So I asked Mahesh sir about it specifically, and such a nice guy he is. He said that it is up to you. It is up to you that how you decide, but it works, and it has worked for Achit sir. It has worked for Avinash sir. So sir, I went with it. After 10 days, I was not able to put the pen on my answer copies because I used to feel that I cannot write. So I called Mahesh sir again. And sir, he used to respond within 1-2 minutes. So I told him, sir, I cannot recall things. Told him, no, you don't need to recall things. You have understood the concept. If you have understood the concept, you write the exam. You try to write it. Sir, I wrote the first test. And sir, then after the test feedback, sir, Mahesh sir gave me the hope, which was very much necessary for a person like me, who felt that I did not have, sir, anything to compare with. That where I'm heading, how I'm going, even though I had a plan, then sir, that confidence that I got that I can write now. Sir, then Mahesh sir connected me with you. And sir, then I was reading the GS thing. Sir, I particularly focus on the things I read for the prelims. As I said, sir, on most subjects, I know the narrative.
Yeah.
But the facts of prelims can be used in mains.
Mains, definitely.
So, sir, the narrative that I had with me, sir, you will not believe me that I was reading Lakshmikant again between my prelims and mains because I had to get those facts. Sir, I was reading again, and sir, since I had no notes, sir, I was keeping my book open and I was highlighting. Sir, I read Bandyopadhyay again in the because I have read it in the prelims. Referring a new material in those 75 days, and also, sir, I want to tell very frankly that I'm not made for marathon. I have a very little stamina. I would have fared well in the sprint of UPSC had it been a long journey. Then I feel that because, sir, it is a loop.
Yeah.
And I think life has much more than any examination. And there are much better things. Coming from the law background, I knew that there are much better things. So, sir, I was very steadfast that I want to be 100% sure that I have given my 100%. Because after the exam overs, I don't want to be in that guilt that I could have done that, I could have done that. Yes. In the time, whatever I could do, I did. For GS, sir, I referred to my prelim sources. For ethics, I referred to the coaching materials. And I referred to DK Balaji's book also. But sir, I read it like a novel also. Because in ethics, if you will see that reading, you will enjoy the subject. But when it comes to writing, it becomes really difficult. Sir, but in that there was a keys from Enlite, which helped me in value addition. And sir, if you remember that when I wrote the first ethics paper in Enlite, sir, it was wholly socio-political and religious philosophy. Yeah. Sir, given the fact that I had so less time, I had to incorporate everything I knew.
What you knew?
Because I knew a lot about socio-political and religion philosophy by that time. Sir, my most answers reflected that in the first. And sir, then my sir told you that it is going too philosophical. Sir, thereafter I shifted to getting more natural in ethics also. I tried my level best to write all the examples. But sir, I realized one thing in those 70 days. If you have internalized something, then only you can write it.
Write it, definitely.
And sir, I do not remember if I have quoted, but most examples were from things that I have internalized. There can be from justice, for instance. Sir, in GS2, I remember, I'm just shifting from ethics to GS2. The first question was on election related corruption and something. I knew that most people will write here section 8. And sir, there I write another section which was more relevant there. And sir, in my introduction, I had sir not prepared any introduction and conclusions because I felt really mechanical with it. Because preparing introductions and conclusions beforehand was a difficult task because I did not know that what kind of questions may come.
Yeah.
I had referred to the PYQs, but after even reading the PYQs, I felt that the introduction should be related to the question itself. There are toppers who have prepared and done better than me. But I feel that they had that time, and time is a privilege.
Yeah.
I did not have that. But sir, in that question, since I was an avid newspaper reader, I wrote the name of Justice Jagmohan Lal Sinha. I had not prepared such introductions. I had not prepared such examples. But I have been through I was reading the newspapers and all. So sir, when a question was specifically asking something, then I was able to write really good introductions.
Good.
But questions, sir, for instance, GS3, there was one question on supply chain management. Sir, I was blank in that question because it was a thematic question. It was not a specific question. So that was one of the hardest question in all the 4 papers that I faced, that how to approach it. Because sir, I had written very few tests. Because sir, I had to read first. I need that content because you cannot bluff in the exam. You cannot bluff in the exam hall. You cannot beat around the bush. You will not get marks. So sir, I kept that I will read more. I will write less. My focus was on essay, ethics and philosophy. That I was planning that I will
added advantage.
So I was planning that I will have more focus on these. But sir, then my essay was something that I could not prepare. I could not prepare much. The only insights that I got was from you, and given the short time, and sir, my friend Nikita also helped me in essay. Because she used to mark very strictly. Very strictly. I used to get 1.5 marks also in ethics. So sir, that was a reality check. So sir, what I did was that I focused on GS also now. I used to divide my days in multiple slots, and sir, before prelims it was around 7 hours of sitting that I used to get. But sir, post prelims, I only had one goal, that now mains is something and everything is secondary. So sir, I joined a library, and almost till evening I used to spend there and studying. And right after around 4 or 5, I will switch the place because now it is a new starting, and then I will give it more time. I believe a lot of in circadian rhythms and all. So sir, I used to keep it at 10. But in prelims and between prelims and mains, sir, I had a lot of pressure. And sir, it was really getting hard for me to sleep because at times you feel that you might be able to clear it because your teacher,
You are near.
they are appreciating you. You are writing very well for a first timer. And Mahesh sir knew for the fact that I'm writing for the first time. Because initially my answers did not have any structure. They were not structured. I was not knowing that how to address the parts and all. But despite the structure, sir was saying your content is really good. And you are addressing the demand of the question at least. So sir, slowly, gradually, I wrote a few tests. I kept studying about my mains, the GS parts also. Sir, GS3 is very wide. But sir, I focused on it also a lot. It is said that it is less rewarding if you're giving too much time in GS3. But sir, in ethics, I felt that it is more about the feel of the question. Because sir, I now recall that I have written things like, I will not be able to sleep at night in the case studies. And sir, in GS2 international relations, I had talked about second channel dialogue in a very much informal way. I'm not saying that you have to be informal in the examination, but you should clarify your idea. And sir, due to lack of practice of answer writing, sir, I used to write a few sentences also. I was not keeping it to the words because I wanted to convey to the examiner what I had to write. And sir, completing the paper in time by writing paragraphs helped me because I was always a fast writer.
Faster. But in this preparation earlier, you were mentioning that you face the stress. How were you able to manage the stress?
So, firstly, I had a few friends around me whom I used to talk.
Good friends.
Good friends.
Good friends.
Good friends. And there were very few friends at that time, matlab, to whom I have conveyed that I am
You
preparing for.
shifted to Delhi because of this.
Ah,
na?
yes, sir.
You,
Yes, sir. They are really good friends,
Friends.
but at the same time, I did not want to tell them and I don't want to sound too aloof that you cannot have 1 hour or 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So, sir, they were friends. And sir, then I love watching movies.
Okay.
So, sir, there were 1 or 2 days between mains and prelims also, though I was not prepared at that level. That, sir, I watched a movie. Or
It's perfectly okay to watch.
And sir, I had planned that in the after prelims result, I have started preparing for the mains also.
Main source.
So, sir, I was very prepared that now I have to give my everything.
Everything.
Even then, sir, there were 3-4 days in which I would not be able to study. There were 3-4 days at least. And sir, my father used to call me because he knew that I have cleared the prelims. And sir, he would go like that, okay, you just do, तुम करो
करो बस
बस तुम करो, मतलब तुमने इतना कर लिया, तुमने
करते हैं।
इतनी जल्दी जल्दी CDS किया, CAPF किया, अभी तुम्हें 6 महीने हुए हैं, 7 महीने हुए हैं गए हुए दिल्ली, तो करो बस,
ज्यादा
है ना?
कुछ मत सोचो।
हाँ, मत सोचो, और मतलब ज़्यादा टेंशन हो तो मतलब माय फादर यूज्ड टू से सच थिंग्स दैट आई फील दैट देयर आर few parents who would be so liberal that नहीं करना लॉ कर ले, even after clearing prelims they will be like कि you can do this also if you don't want to, just to make me feel that they are not pressurizing me. So it helped me also.
They just wanted you to enjoy your life.
हाँ,
Be in the moment.
हाँ, be in the moment, but at the same time my father wanted to be disciplined on that moment. You cannot enjoy your life when the life demands something else from you.
Yeah.
And that you have been thinking of for so long that you will be doing, now you have gotten an opportunity. Clearing prelims is an opportunity. Hard work plays an important role in any examination, but prelims is something in which the intuition, the things that you have learned, the luck plays a major role.
Once you are given that opportunity, you need to give your full.
Yes.
So that you will feel that in this battle, I actually mention it as a battle. So in this battle, you are given your full.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, that आपके मन में वो शंका, it will be there in all your years that you didn't give your full. If you are given at least certain part more, you could have easily cleared it right now.
So at the same time, people ask about hours. Sir, within 3-4 hours, I used to get at times what I will get in 8 hours. At times. At times, I have studied on table for 8-9 hours and I have got the efficiency of 1 hour. But when you sleep, the amount of hours you have studied play an important role in your satisfaction. Because you are now doing solely the preparation now. Sir, despite leaving 3-4 days, I was able to get at least 10 hours. An average of 10 hours in those 72 or 75 days I had. Sir, the answer keys of GS2, GS3 in Enlite helped me. Sir, in GS2, I was having a low background, so it was comparatively
able to incorporate that.
It was comparatively easy for me to incorporate that. But sir, ethics answer keys also helped me a lot from Enlite.
Yeah. So this was with respect to your mains preparation, with respect to how you went into philosophy and how preparation of philosophy went ahead. Now we move ahead to your interview stage. Prateek's interview, we actually as a team were little bit we had that fear. Actually, we had that fear. I mean, because based on the mock one-on-one sessions we attended, we know how Pratik is going to respond. So we had that conversation earlier itself. So, Pratik, can you explain what were the challenges that you faced in your personality test? Because you already have UPSC interview experience. So, how your UP means for CSE, how your interview preparation started, the challenges that you were facing, and how you overcome it.
So since my preparation duration was not very long, by preparation I means specifically preparing for UPSC.
UPSC.
Sir, I was not very formal. I have not been very formal because I had friends. I will talk to teachers and all everything. So sir, getting too formal was a task for me because sir, I have given CDS interview also. So sir, in that when the interviewing officer brigadier sir asked me a question, sir, I l- smiled a little, and it was I felt that he will smile too on that answer, but he did not. So sir, one thing Mahesh sir also says that I can adapt. But sir, for that adaptability, I wanted to get the feedback. So sir, uh, after my interview, I enjoyed for after my mains result. It was on 14th November, I guess. Sir, I enjoyed for 10-14 days. And after mains, sir, I was not studying for the 2 months before mains because I was worried that what will be the result and I don't want to get into the cycle again. It's a post interview. I talked to Mahesh sir. He told me that do not give many mocks. And you have that confidence, you have that cool personality, which can work both ways. It can either help you get 200 plus, or it may reduce your score to less than 130. Because I feel that you will not be scoring in between. So he said to me and said, when sir you clear when you get your name in the mains list, sir, the FOMO kicks again. Because interview is something which is really unpredictable now. And the scoring can vary from 130 to 225 now these days. So it can either get you in the list or it can get you out of the list. So sir, I applied in a lot of institutions for the interview guidance program. Now sir, it was 2nd December and I got my interview in the first phase. It was on 15th or 16th December. Sir, previously, before the interview, I was relaxed. Sir, I immediately got Mahesh sir. And sir, he started arranging one-to-one sessions with different faculties of Enlite. Joseph sir, I talked to Joseph sir. I used to talk with you and Mahesh sir. And it was getting me on that formal path. Because I have a tendency of getting too philosophical or too technical. Because if it is a question of law, then I would get technical. I would start quoting a few cases or a few justices even. And in philosophy too, sir, for instance, sir, I used the word epistemic humility. And Mahesh sir smiled and said, please do not use these words. You have to keep yourself simple. So, sir, those one-to-one session were there to tame me. Because at the end of the day, you do not know which board you will get. And not everyone will like your wilderness. And Mahesh sir knew this. So, sir, successively we had 7, 8, 9 sessions of one-to-one. We used to talk 30-40 minutes. And since I was very chill with you people, so I would hold the interview in between and I would say, sir, ये कह सकता है? तो मतलब sir, these things.
एक मिनट आराम से बैठ कर सकते हैं.
हाँ.
I remember those words from you.
Yes, sir. So sir, that space helped me. And sir, then again, sir, there was Nikita, there was Kushagra. Sir, they would help me in getting. We were talking in English in those days, so that I got that fluency back. So, sir, then the interview day came, and I went to the UPSC Bhavan, Dholpur House, and so there I got Anuradha Prasad ma'am's word. So, sir, when I went in, sir, since sir now I have experience of three interviews. I have given one CDSSB, which I felt is still the very toughest one because they are monitoring you for the 5 days. And sir, then sir CAPF interview, and sir now UPSC interview. I knew one thing, that if interview goes in a conversational style, then I will be able to get the ball in my court. But if the interview gets too factual, then I am going to make blunders. Because if there are too many factual questions in that pressure situations, you will not be able to recall many prelims things also, because the pressure is real. But once you get in the conversational style, the pressure settles, and now you feel that you're sitting with your known ones.
Non ones.
So, sir, after 5 minutes, the board was cordial and everything settled down. I gave the interview, and there were few prelims questions also. And by God's grace, they were in the end. When I felt that okay, I have done decently good. Then after in the last, I was even able to recall the tiger reserves, because the question was regarding tiger reserves in the south, in the north, in the east. So I was able to recover, because most questions were surrounded around philosophy. There was one question about physics also, and law. So thereafter came outside of the UPSC Bhavan, and then I called my sir that I could not, because in those 15-20 minutes, sir, I had that one tendency, because when you are doing something, okay, I'm focusing on what I'm doing right, but I was very critical of myself that what I'm doing wrong. After every mains examination, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and even my option, sir, I was not happy that I could have done better, because the pressure in something you are doing in your room and the something that you're doing in the examination was very much different. I used to complete my ethics paper 5 minutes before. I have completed my philosophy paper 5 minutes before. But sir, in the actual examination, I struggled with the case studies. So, sir, the critical analysis of that introspection and that continuous feedback that I was getting from Joseph sir, Mahesh sir, and sir in society, Bhagyashri ma'am also, and my friends, of course, sir. They were giving me 1 and 1.5 marks, because they did not want to shatter my confidence, because they knew that his confidence won't be shattered. So, but they were very strict with me. Even Mahesh sir was giving me that hope, because he has already given ranks.
Ranks.
So, sir, I knew that I am in touch with someone. If he is seeing that there is something which can be done, I felt, sir, elated. At times, sir, I was elated enough that I could not get sleep. So, sir, I used to feel that okay, हो सकता है.
Oh, sir. Pratik, we had a fair understanding how your preparation journey was going ahead. We would like to conclude. Before we conclude, do you have any advice for Team Enlight? Means, you know the process, you know us since last few months, and more than few months, you know us. So, do you want to convey something to us? How we should move ahead? Should we change something? What you have to tell to us?
Sir, if I would talk about institution only, then I feel that you should do the marketing, because it has been said that philosophy is less scoring subject, and even last year I feel that philosophy was one of the highest scoring subject. And sir, it is not about score, because everything about 250 ensures that you are in the safe zone, in the
Safe
option,
shop, yeah.
in the safe zone. And sir, philosophy can ensure you that at least you will, if you have studied it religiously, you will at least be able to cross that 250 threshold. So sir, you can then prepare for GS. At the same time, sir, the human touch that I got, that I was speaking. Sir, Mahesh sir had responded within 1 and 2 minutes on my WhatsApp text. So you were always ready to help me. And sir, the way Joseph sir conducted those interview sessions, sir, the individual feedback on my test paper that I was getting from my faculty was really remarkable. Sir, I feel that you need to scale up, because the human touch is something which is very much necessary for any institution, for any sociological institution, for any political institution, for any economic institution. The formality is very much necessary in any sphere. But at the same time, if the formality is coming at the cost of the human touch, which I feel is necessary, will mechanize the whole process. Because at the end of the day, be it any institution, ain't it a family? How would it feel that if there is no human touch in a family? So, but sir, at the same time, when the institutions grows larger, when there are diverse opinions, sir, incorporating that human touch becomes difficult. So, what I may be highlighting is a very naive advice, probably, but at least moving in that direction may help us, because if even 1% of it is achieved, then there will be many people who will be happy. Because without human touch, without that thing, means preparation or prelims preparation, or the entire UPSC
Journey would
be very, very
be
difficult.
difficult.
And it is true for any examination. If there is no human touch, you will not be able to sail through very easily. You may be able to, unless you're a schnoized, but at the end of the day, that human touch helps, and the institution should scale up.
Thank you. We are very humbled to listen to this, Pratik. So once again, on behalf of Team Enlite, I would like to congratulate you, and also I would like to wish you a very successful bureaucratic journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank